Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. You had a good night. I am quite energized this morning as much as I didn't sleep throughout the night for two reasons. I'll share one with you. Being very excited about, oh my God, to me it's good to have you here. You're the first to come online to join me live, and this is so amazing. Morning, my darling baby. To me, thank you so much for joining. Tumi has joined us all the way from South Africa, and this is so encouraging for me. This is one of the most amazing young ladies that's doing so much in Africa. She travels all the way from South Africa to Africa, Ghana, to make sure that our children, the children in schools, right, get the best education, makes time to teach them and express some fun time with them. To me, I love you. Yes, we already have Hillary Sarah on, and it's going to be an amazing conversation. Guys, it's different today, isn't it? Everything feels different, and that is making sure that you gain your confidence back regardless whatever it is that you're going on. It's normal for you to, it gets lost sometimes. It gets lost in the woods, and you have to make it a determination, or you have to make a determination what I'll be determined to get it back, and that's one of the things I love about myself, and I'm sure you're the same, guys. Danny, thanks so much for joining. I'm just so excited this morning, and it's nice. To me, it's good to have you. So this is how special you are to me. You just brought all the light out of me this morning, and thank you very much for that. So Ellie, Joyce, thanks so much for joining. Hillary is already going to request. Guys, we're getting Hillary on, and we're going to start an amazing conversation, a very profound one that excites me the most. It's so motivating, inspiring, because as a young woman who is so determined, so press on to become very impactful in my world, there are people, the women who must show me great examples, who are showing us great examples, yes, and that brings a lot to light for us. It keeps us really on to do the right thing, keep pressing on. So we're going to have a very lovely conversation today. How exciting the Ghanaian woman, the African girl should be today. Good morning, Hillary. How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you so much. Thanks so much. It was late notice, but you said yes to me.
You are
Guys,
an early riser. I don't know how you do this. I was like, oh my God, you're amazing.
Hillary, I want to say thank you so much once again for joining me this morning. Honestly, this couple of days has been very exciting for most women around the world, especially for African women, and because of who has worked so hard throughout her years, to become the woman she is today, the mother she is today, and also the amazing example that she is to girls and even men. Because look, there's some men who admire women who really strive to do their best and to impact our world. So we're very excited to have that conversation today. Now, Hillary is a sister. I'm going to tone it down right now and introduce Hillary just like I would do when she's on the phone with me. And if I'm on the phone with me. Okay, so guys, Hillary is a very good friend of mine that I call a sister. She loves everything PR and communication, and you would see it before the end of this conversation. She is one of the heads from HSA PR. Hillary loves everything to do with making sure that your personality, your brand, whatever it is that the company represents will go out there appropriately for people to really see the main focus, the main goal, and the main vision of your brand or your company. She's done a lot more. She's also into fashion and wellness. Yes, when it comes to her fashion sense, guys, you will not believe it. She rocks it anytime, any day, and she's just spontaneous. That's one of the things I like about Hillary. And so, Hillary, there's more that you're going to share with us about what you do. But before then, Hillary, how excited are you about the news of having the first African woman who's worked throughout her years to be, ahead of?
I say mixed emotions. I am super stoked. I am elated. But it's like finally, I feel like it's a message that I've been trying to get a lot of people to buy into, because we've become almost like a microwave generation where we want the success overnight. She has worked, she has earned her keep, and I dare say overqualified. And she has done it the right way. She has gone through the ropes. She has served. She has worked. She has put in the time. So for me, she embodies everything that is great.
Yeah.
Work for it. It will happen. So I think it's motivation for us all to, you know what, keep our hands on deck. Keep doing the work. Focus. Find what your interest is and do everything you can to excel in that space. Don't look for recognition or
No.
acceptance or validation now. Just focus and hone in on your skills. So for me, that is what she embodies. And it really gladdens my soul because she represents everything that is great and everything that is good. She's saying to us, you know, just be patient and
Yeah.
just keep at it. And that's what excites me the most about her.
You know what, Hillary? So guys, you know who we're talking about this morning? It is no other than the beautiful, the amazing, spectacular, hardworking woman, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, sorry. So she is Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She is one of the phenomenal women that has proved Africa has got everything it takes. African women can be leaders and can rule and do the right thing and set a great example for our generations to come. Hillary, one of the things that fascinate me a lot is that how can we connect this, you know, having her as a woman of what? Who leads, a woman who leads, not just, organizations and non-profitable organizations in Africa, but also, a whole profound organization in the world, right? Which is the World, hold on, what? I'm
World
lost
Trade
right now.
Organization.
Sorry? Go
World Trade
again.
Organization.
World Trade Organization, yes. So guys, this is it. I'm telling you something very amazing about being dyslexic. When you're very excited, you mix it all the way. And
We all do.
I do this intentionally for you to know that it is normal. It's part, and it doesn't mean that we're not capable or people are not capable of doing or reaching their goals, but these things happen. Okay, so yes,
Right.
World Trade Organization, and for her to be on a high rank of such a position, Hillary, how do we connect that in encouraging a girl leading organization in the world that can help our girls focus and believe that they can do their best and also get to that rank?
So before we get to that, I want to retract to a statement you made about Africans being leaders. We have always known Africans to be leaders. We have always known African women to be the leaders in their communities, to fight, to lead battle. We have Yasa, we have other women in our history. If we look back, African women have been doing their thing for a really long time. But now it's Africa to the world. And I think this is something the world has known for a long time. But of course, people have been fighting it. So right now, in a lot of ways, it is official. But to the girl child, again, it goes back to my message of pursuing excellence in your everyday. And excellence does not happen, like I said, overnight. It's not one big moment. It's little steps, little dots culminated into one. So if you're building a brand, if you have a business, and like I said, and I think what I said before was making sure it's something that is of interest. She actually did mention that she loves trade. It's clearly something she lives and breathes, something she's passionate about. So focus, God, what is my purpose? What is my talent? What should I be doing? And when you hone it that and you align it with your interest, you give it everything you've got every day, because it will not be easy. So it's got to be something that you love. So the message we have to give girls is, you know what? One, study and show yourself approved. You are in school now, you are studying, you're taking a vocational course, you're taking a certification. Do that. And then if you're building a brand, you're building an empire or a company, every day do something that would help you build it, because it's not going to be an easy road. And you'd realize it. You too can become the next Madame WTO. You too could become that or better. And she has set the tone and she has raised the bar really high. So we have no excuse. We really don't have an excuse.
Amazing. Hillary, and then the other bit that really, really I believe is important is that Yes, she comes from a royal background, right? She was born into a royal family and went to international schools.
Right.
But I don't think that should be the reason why she is where she is today. There is a narrative today that, yes, because we're not privileged enough. I mean, yes, there are less privileged people in the world, okay? But most of them has really been able to prevail and head to the top. What is it that you want to encourage people who have such perception?
You know, it saddens me when I hear that people always try to take away from people's achievements and people's excellence. We know many people who have gone to the most amazing institutions haven't done much. So let's not take away from her moment. She is an excellent woman. She is an
Yes.
excellent, beyond even being an excellent woman, she is a stellar person. And she has done
Yes.
this, she has earned her keep. Her resume is expansive. She has chaired so many boards. She has been working for this for a while. But you know what I believe?
Yes.
There is, I might take you on a bit of a biblical or Christian tangent. If you look at the fingers are not equal. We're all going to be
No.
born in circumstances that are not ideal. We have people who are better than us, who have had better opportunities. But again, there's a reason why you're Jifa and I'm Hillary and I'm Tumi and I'm Abivanas who joined us. I'm Fizzlebin. There's a reason why we're there. We have all been deposited in us something that makes us unique and something that sets us apart. We each have a gift that the world needs, and all we need to is to own that. So to take away from that, that's she is stellar, she's amazing, she has
Yes.
proven above and beyond. And you know, the interesting thing is that if you look at a lot of world leaders, we've had a lot of, let's say, Caucasian or European leaders, and their what do you call, their experiences pale in comparison. And these, like I said, they've been to amazing institutions as well. So why
Yeah.
take from her? Why take
Yeah.
that away from her?
Thank you so much, Hillary. One of the things that also makes me feel that there is no way I, Jifa Bekwegre, and everybody who's tuning right now can make it, especially if their purpose or their focus is to impact our world and also bring smiles into people's, life, is that, Hillary, look, volunteering to do things isn't a bad thing. I know, yes, we all need money. We have bills to pay, but it gets to a point in life where you would have to volunteer. Look, you said she's board a lot of what's it called, organizations voluntarily, and
Yeah,
some of these organizations are results of development member of the board and directors. She's a result of the development member of board and part of the directors, and she's been doing this since 2014. Women's World Banking member of the board of directors since 2014. The B team founded by Richard Branson, right? And which advocates for business practices that are more content on humanitarian and other climate. She's been on board since 2013. African University of Science and Technology, Hillary, and she's chair of board, and she's been doing this for a very, very long time. Now, the one that I love the most, because I mean, I'm so focused on getting into Oxford for some reason. For some
it'll
reason,
happen.
for the past 1 year, it's just been a passion to just get into
It'll happen.
Oxford.
You're
So,
a living
guys,
God.
I really am working so
We'll come
hard
and
to do
visit you
that.
on
And you're pushing me to your side, right? And like now, she's Oxford Martin School member of Global Leaders Foundation. She is a member of the board as well, and she's been doing this for a long
many
time.
more.
Look,
Yeah.
she voluntarily did this, Hillary. Sometimes it feels draining. It feels like you're giving it your time. I mean, like a young lady like Tumi. Tumi travels all the way from South Africa, go around Africa, has visited Ghana, and work with the young kids in school, in private and government schools. And you should see her work. It's just heartwarming, Hillary. There is Dolly Hansen, right here in Ghana, a young lady who is also advocating for young girl and when it comes to teenage pregnancies. And I do the same in all sector, from education, because I feel like I didn't have the privilege, but I'm giving myself that privilege, teenage pregnancy. And all these are some of the things that we need to pay attention to, Hillary. How can we go all out and volunteer and help in various areas of space that we have interest in, and know that our works are going to talk for us later?
So I'm actually glad you brought that up because we have, especially in the environment, let's say in Ghana, we've gotten to a place where we're so money conscious. And I'm not saying that, like you said, money is very important. It's for our lifestyle. Money's fuel. It's necessary. Money's currency. But you have to realize that it is through giving back that you actually find yourself. And in as much as you think you are giving back, you end up being the greatest beneficiary. Because like I said, you find yourself, you hone your skill, you figure out your strengths and your weakness. And I think it comes naturally as well. Like I said, when you figure out who you are, what my purpose is, what my passion is, what my interest is. And then when you align with that, those things come easy. And we do have to encourage our generation and younger, because we have this mindset of this get money now, I have to be paid for everything. You speak to people as a business owner, and let's say they're intern, and then you offer them a few perks. The first thing they're interested in, so how much do I get paid? And I think to myself, you are about to shadow some amazing people who have brilliant portfolios, and you're thinking just about the money at the age of 21. You want to hone your skills. And giving back actually allows you to walk in certain corridors that ordinarily you wouldn't walk into. If you are limited to just a certain position in a particular cubicle, you're actually more limited than that intern who roams around the office, because the intern has the leeway to really commune, to really
Yeah.
engage with different people in different sectors, different departments. So you learn so much. So by the time you're done with that experience, you have this almost guidance. You almost have some sort of manual to guide you through life. So I think it's so important. And I think we're missing now a lot of human elements in what we do. And I'll reel it into Ghana because, Ghana is, home, and I'll reel it in. And I feel like we've almost lost our sense of patriotism, our sense of community, where we're no longer rallying around each other and community and our nation. And it's about self and my nuclear family. So let me grind, that's the term, grind. Let me hustle and make something that's about it. And I think that narrative needs to change.
Well, I watched some of her interviews on YouTube. I mean, this was a couple of years ago. And then just recently hearing of the amazing news and her hard work that has brought us all joy. I went back to YouTube to watch some of her videos. And Hillary, right, it's amazing how this woman describes how she handles things. Even recently when former President Donald Trump tried to stop her position coming to light. I mean, she said she was surprised. And obviously, yes, she was. Any human being will be surprised when they're putting in the hard work and you're trying to stop them from becoming who they're meant to be, so they can impact more and do more. And then she said that, look, you would have to just move on and put that on the side. And a lot of women, I mean, it's difficult for people to do that because, look, Hillary, let's be very, very, very practical. You've worked so hard. You're in a team of harmony. I mean, and then all of a sudden there's a position for you and you have somebody that you're expecting that should say yeah, says no. Right. You won't be broken one way or the other. How do you handle it? It's people handle things differently. But as a woman in leadership, to you, what are some of the ways that you've been able to handle such situations?
But I think you come to expect it, especially when you know that you are destined for something great. When you know that what you're doing is your calling, because you have prayed about it, you have fasted, you have meditated, you have sought guidance. So you come to expect it, and you have to know that people don't like excellence, and you have to realize that a lot of people react because they haven't found their purpose either. So they can't even stand what they see as your glory and your light, and they just don't realize that you're also trying to figure it out as well. So you've got to expect opposition. Not everyone will applaud for you. In fact, most people will not applaud for you. Most people would only applaud when you get to the top, like, Madame Ngozi is now. So you can't expect applause. You've got to learn as an individual to encourage yourself. and to keep focused and to keep doing what you're doing. Don't walk around thinking people are rooting for you or clapping for you. And it's amazing. People just think sometimes it's just outsiders, because the calling is for you. The gift is for you. The direction is for you. So guess what? Your father might not even understand. Your mother might not. Your siblings might not even understand. So you've got to dig deep and encourage yourself and just keep your eyes on the ball. But I'm not even surprised there was opposition. She doesn't match the aesthetics with her fabulous head tie. You know, it's usually Caucasian old men, fabulous
Yes.
hair. This African woman, this qualified woman. You know, you've got to find something, because really, she really checked off all the boxes and beyond. So of course
All
there's
the
going to be
boxes.
opposition.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely, there will be opposition. So it is to be expected. But you've got to roll with the punches, and you've got to keep going. And I think I've mentioned this. You've got to learn to dance to the beat of your own drums. Because if you're convicted and you're convicted, you've got to keep going. You don't need anyone else. You don't need just focus what's in your heart. You have, like you said before, we have everything deposited within us to accept, to keep moving. And in the process, you would be amazed who you inspire. You're not even thinking about just doing what you have to do. And every day, the disappointments, the heartache, yes, there are moments that you will cry. There are moments that you hold your pillow tight and you cry. You think, God, oh my God, am I on the right path? You know,
Yes.
I thought this was my purpose, this was my calling, and there's so many obstacles and hindrances, and it's tough. And you know, you're running a business, cash is not flowing the way you should. You're thinking about payroll, you're thinking about different things, but you keep going. You're convicted and you keep going, and you will get to a destination. And life is the God, and I'll say God, and for some people they say the universe. It's amazing. And sometimes, you know, you come to like a stumbling block, you come to a crossroad, and you're like, this is it, it's over. And then a door opens, and then you get a sign, and then you see a little line, you're like, yes, this is what I need to keep going and to keep going. But I must say that it does get better. Don't give up. Keep at it. Don't give up.
Hilary, from what you've just said, I want to throw in this, that in connection with all that you said, can women become that sort of, you know, door, you know, to each other? Can we be that sort of help and hope to other women? Can we do that? Because yes, there's still a fuss about women empowerment, but I mean, literally, it's something else, you know. Can you express on that? Because they say women empowerment, but there's a lot happening.
So it's interesting you say that. I remember I joined this group and we were having a discussion, and we're talking about, you know, sometimes women not helping. They're like, oh my God, we don't want activity. Women don't help each other. Don't say that. And I'm like, you know, to an extent, it actually does happen. But I think it happens also because, like I said, not everyone has come into their own. So if your light shines too much, sometimes people are intimidated. There are a lot of people who are actually content with being the only people with a seat at the table. They're content. You know, that's a thing. That's a saying that says that, you know, it's almost like any woman who doesn't help another woman deserves help. Something like the quote will come to
Oh
me.
yes, there's a place for them in hell.
Absolutely, because you know how tough an environment it is. You know the battles that we have to face as a woman, not just other women, but you're living in a paycheck. You're living, whether people like it or not, you're living in a man's world, and you're living in a man. You know what we go through as women on a daily basis, especially a woman owner, a woman business. You know, the kind of aggression that you face. You know, people are trying to get you to compromise your principles. So you're already out there. It's like a battle, a constant battle. So women should do better. We should. Once we have a seat at the table, let's find out a way to help someone else. If you have an interest, help your fellow woman who has a business. See if you can throw some good pointers their way. See if there's something that you can help. See if there's a door that you can open. But you can only do that with your own. Because then you're not intimidated. You're not intimidated by Jifa, because you're walking in your calling, you're walking in your path. And Jifa is doing what she has to do. So women, we need to love each other a bit more. We need to help each other a bit more. We need to take away the negative energy and help each other propel to the next level, to do better, to get to higher heights. Because it is only collectively that we can change the narratives. Because when we have more women leaders, when we have more women in communities and societies and organizations, that is where we can make an impact. because that's when we can negotiate even better. That's when
Yes.
we can come to the negotiating table and say, you know what, here we are collective, and together we are a force, and we're saying this is what we want. So together we are better. So we need to help each other out.
Indeed, we need to. Now, Hillary, so just after her appointment, there was a press conference, right? And in her delivery, she made mention of how important it is that as an African woman, yes, she sees to it that all issues connecting to Africa with the with all that has happened in the past, she's ready to make sure that, look, Africa comes clean and does better. Now, sometimes we get positions and we get out there and we totally forget about where we come from, Hillary. We totally do. I mean, in the beginning, yes, we've seen people who've been in positions, yes, and they're so keen and on helping their country and, you know, environments and what's it called, country, neighborhood and all that. It can come in small positions, right? They get in there and they divert. I mean, over the years, it hasn't been like that for this woman. But there are people who sometimes get divert from their main purpose or part of the most important things that they have to get done. What is it that you believe that can help people focus on making sure that whatever it is they can do to help their immediate people, the people close to them, or a country like Africa, can come? I'm lost. Can actually be done.
No, so I get what you're saying, but you know, her position as like the head of the World Trade Organization, it's a global one.
Yeah.
She answers to all nations globally. So yes, she can look out for Africa, but Africa must look out for itself. Africa must do the right thing. We have to put our house in order so she can be of help to us. If let's say for instance, there was a grant that was going to help a country and you had to meet certain stipulations, she can only recommend. She can only nudge you and say, hey, look in this direction, but you've got to qualify for it. It's the same way where there might be an opportunity and say, Hillary, that's an opportunity, go bid for it. I've got to meet the criteria. If you have a tender, you've got to meet a criteria. So Africa needs to put its house in order. Yes, sometimes people get in positions and get a change. And I think I'm still trying to figure out this power thing. Not just in her position, but in general, whether I don't believe that power changes you. I actually feel like if you haven't come of your own and you get access to this level of power, it can or most likely will change you. But I think that there are two ways to look at it. So it's a strong approach. One, Africa needs to get us house in order so that it can be of help to you. And two, we need to also position ourselves so we can take advantage, benefit from having our daughter, our mother, our sister, our lead in that country.
Amazing. Hillary, so now a lot of women in Africa, right, are striving so hard, Hillary, especially when it comes to small scale businesses, right? They're pushing, and because there's not much employment, right? And so people are putting in their best to really start something for themselves, right? Now, sometimes the help or the support that we need to really excel or get to where we deserve and also feel happy and that we got into such an environment or such a trade can be very discouraging. What do you think that we must keep in mind as small business, owners? I am an entrepreneur myself. I have businesses that I struggle with sometimes, but I mean, in the terms having this woman gets to where she is right now, how can we encourage ourselves that we can also be seen and help can come from them?
So life of an SME, I can testify. It's not an easy road. It's not an easy journey. It's a tough one. There's so many obstacles. Sit here and talk about all the hindrances from lack of structural systems, taxes, all of that good stuff. But I think SMEs need to partner, get into a habit of partnership and collaboration. You don't partner and collaborate with just anyone. You've got to recognize who your tribe is. You've got to recognize who you can resonate it, who you can relate to partner and collaborate, because that's the only way to get to the next level. We have unique challenges as SMEs because you're not quite there. You're still trying to figure it out. Yes, you may have like a pay they have people who are have employees and all of that. You might be, you might have a bit of a cash flow, but if we really truly want to get to the level of being like a corporation and MNC, we have got to partner, we've got to collaborate. There's so many resources that if you have your tribe, you have your
Yeah.
tribe partner, and it's your tribe that's gonna, draw your attention to different opportunities out there, different resources out there, different funding out there to help you take it to the next level. And the beauty of that doesn't have to stay in your board. Africa is a continent. Well, we have 54 so more. Number keeps changing.
Yes.
It's a huge continent. And now we have the free trade agreements. It means that you can partner with someone in South Africa, with someone in Nigeria, with someone in Zambia, Senegal. So really, the continent is our oyster. There's so much we can do as SMEs. I know that we have a problem also. I can say Africa, it might be just be stereotypical, where everyone wants to be their own founder or owner, principal of that. But we've got to learn to give that up so we can get to the next level. I deal with them. One of the things that I do is that I deal with like a lot of emerging designers. It's a passion project. And, they come to you with beautiful fashion houses and brands. And they want investors, they want funders, but they don't want to give up equity. Something has got to give for you to get next level. So you've got to learn, of course, your SME, your business is your baby, your heart
Yeah.
in it, cherish it. But at some point, you've got to give a little bit of the part, collaborate, just so that you can get to the next level.
Talking about collaboration, Hillary, collaborating with people and finding the right people to do that with can be very difficult. And how do you find the right people to collaborate with when it comes to your business that you've really put in so much effort?
So like I said, you've got to find your tribe. And the beauty about business is that you end up having quite an expansive network. You meet people, you have coffee with people, lunch with people, dinner, you go to the events, you hang out, you connect on different levels. I'm sure that, through your profession, you've met hundreds of people, but out of the hundreds or thousands of people, but out of the thousands, you probably get tens, right? So that's how you have your tribe, because the soul knows, your soul knows. You meet someone, you connect, and over time, if you keep holding on to you, ask yourself, what is it about you generally.
Yeah.
So if you know that person, I cannot know this person, I've known this person for a while, my spirit connects, we align. This person is doing their thing, their path, my path as well. I believe this person is genuine. Of course, you've got to get the legal element in where you have all your paperwork.
Yeah.
Things can change, but you grow your tribe. If I got a call today and I asked you, give me your top 5 people, and those people are, sometimes we think about partnership and collaboration, and immediately we think about, oh my God, this huge MNC or corporation. Your partner could be a good friend, someone you've known for 10 years. It could be an uncle somewhere. It could be someone that you worked on a project with 10 years ago who is based in South or in Nigeria or somewhere. That could be your partner. There's so many people who have access to funds, who want to invest, who want to diversify their portfolio. They're looking for They're looking for people out there to partner with, to invest in. So there's so many people. And I think the world is also changing, where you have a lot of Africans who've done really well for themselves, who, initially were investing outside the continent. And, thanks to COVID, everyone is looking inward. They're pivot, and they're looking for stuff like this to invest, because people are looking for soul and heart, because they know that soul and heart is what will keep you on the road for the marathon, for the journey. So I think we have so many opportunities. All we have to do is to look and dig up.
Well, this is good. Let's talk about building a team and maintaining it. I just like the fact that you've taken it to how you would have to push through. But look, it's one of the areas that can be very difficult, building a team and maintaining a team. In today's world where everybody looks out for making, money, instantly, immediately. Or you have a team, let's say you have a team where things aren't doing so well, but they do not understand your vision, even though their vision is also included in what you're doing, because it's a teamwork, right? It's a partnership. It gets to a point where some decide or they think that, oh no, I would rather go my separate ways and do it the other way. And that kind of breaks it up for you, because you've already made up your mind. And then all of a sudden, there's this huge change that isn't going to help, immediately. It's not going to help. you would have to restructure and get things done. How can we avoid that? Or how can we find solution to
You know,
that?
so sometimes you can't avoid people leaving because people sometimes come join your board. You know, they say, I want to be a part of your team. They come in the
Yes.
seat and it looks glamorous. So they figure out, you know what, I'm going to go my separate way and do it just the way Hillary or Jifa does it, or do it how someone does it. So I'm gone. I'm just here to glean a little bit of knowledge, make a little bit of cash. I can set up my own thing. But building a team, I know people probably do it different ways, but I think that it's organic. As a small business owner, you've got to be willing to be your number one worker. You've got to work and grind. You've got to be willing to be your number one staff. You've got to, and the thing about being a small business owner, you've got to learn to do everything to be able to be comfortable in each position. So guess what? When you have employees, you can tell, I've actually done this before. This is how you can better it. But the thing about building a team, and especially for me, I believe it has to be organic. So when I started, I was like, you know what? I'm moving from DC. My soul wants to be in Ghana. I want to come to Ghana. Of course, I didn't come with any super plans. I wasn't that story. Oh my God. You know, the stories that you hear. Someone left their $1 billion job and decided to come to Africa and start all over again and, be poor. Yeah, sure. Anyway, but for me, it was honestly, my soul wanted to be here. I didn't have any grand plan. I didn't even think about a team. Then I was like, okay, so who do I know who can, in the beginning, maybe consult for me, may not be an employee. Because I knew my vision, and I think I'm a bit of, not I not perfection, but I try to strive for perfection. So I knew. So initially it was myself. Fortunately, I worked in a law firm before, so I had former law firm partners that I could call in, because what we do is really PR, public relations, communication strategy, crisis, reputation management, image management, and strategy. So you want excellence, and I wanted to bring to the environment a different level to PR for people to really understand that.
And you are doing that, Hillary.
And public relations is not an ad or a billboard or just speaking. PR is strategies beyond that. So because I knew that I wanted excellence, I brought in people that had even way better experience than I did. So I started with a remote team where I'm like, okay, I have someone based in Minnesota. I have someone based in Washington, D.C. I have people that I work with in Ghana. And the people that I work with in Ghana, you start out with an intern. You're like, listen, this is what I'm trying to achieve. You may not have the skill set, but so far as you're willing to be a fast learner, you're dynamic, you have certain skill set, I can work with you. And so building a team has got to be organic. I sit here sometimes in Accra, and I might be working on a project, and I have people on maybe 3 different time zones working on a project. And like I said, you're going to have people who join your team and who would leave, people who are just in for the money, don't see the long term, and people who don't realize what you're trying to achieve and how it will benefit them. But you can also be scared. At some point, you've got to part ways with certain people, because there's certain people who are only meant, it's not just in business, in life as well, who are only meant to be a part of your story, your vision, only for a season. So they might, outlive their time with you, and it's okay to move on. And when people leave your team, it's the time for you to actually pause, look back, look in and dig deep and find out, okay, what can I do better? Maybe I need to structure it a little differently. Maybe this time around, I put out the job description, I've got to be a bit more specific. Maybe I need more than initially thought that I needed. So for instance, you're here and people are asking you, okay, so you want to join a virtual fair. Just yesterday, I was asked to sign up for a virtual, one of the universities. And you realize that this time around, you've got to be a bit more specific and detailed so that you know who's coming on board your team. If it's writing skills that you're looking for, you need to be clear about it. If it's someone who's dynamic, you need to be clear about it. You need to be clear that, listen, in this business, we don't work. But this business, there are most days where we're working 9 to 9. So you need to be clear about this. And I think that the onus is on us as business women and business people to be clear about the kind of team players that you want. And of course, your team, you've got to give them incentives. I believe that when you have team members, you've got to tell them, look, I know you're working for small business. Things may be a bit tough now. Maybe this is what I'm able to pay you for now. But guess what? I have you in mind. When we get to this point, with the numbers you have, trust that in year 5, I might be able to give you a stake of the business. You'd be what giving someone a 2% stake in your business will give them, because guess what? They have buy-in as well. They are vested. The attitude will change. The energy will be different. So these are all things that we have to consider when we're thinking about filmmaking.
Hillary, there's no doubt that looking at Dr. Ngozi's resume, she's got so much potential, and she has a great way of dealing with people. She's liked everywhere, to the extent that Hillary Clinton actually made mention or acknowledged her how she loves her head scarf.
Like
You know,
I
how she
said, that's
ties
like her
it.
signature
You
style. It's
know,
fantastic.
yes,
There's a challenge going on, by
it's
the way.
amazing.
There's
Sorry,
a
say
challenge
that again.
going on. There's a challenge going on Twitter with
Are
children
you
tying it.
serious?
Yes. So you should check it out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's interesting. And you
That's the
said
question.
this is amazing. It's
Yeah.
really nice and inspiring. You can imagine a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old watching this right now, getting to know who this woman is. That will be very inspiring to her. And so as I was saying, I mean, she has a good resume, great way of dealing with people. Obviously, she's imperfect. But you can tell that the way you deal with people can take you a very long way, Hillary. And a lot of people can't take that for granted. I mean, you cannot pretend that you can understand people and you would want to deal with them in the right manner. Yes, we're imperfect, we make mistakes, but I mean, taking people into consideration in all areas, you know, can really help. What's your take?
Oh my God, you couldn't have said it any better. You don't understand. Relationship is everything. And I've come to know it. I've come to believe it and recognize it and experience it on a daily basis the longer I stay in business. Let me tell you, I sit here in my apartment and I get calls from people I knew from, let's say, 10 years ago, who are like, Hillary, hey, how are you? You know, I've always wanted to do business on the continent. I thought about you. You've always been really nice. It's really technical stuff, but you know what? I think you're the person. You've always been nice and genuine and pleasant. So I want to do this with you. That's it. No criteria. No, where did you study? Let me see your certificate. Let me see your diploma. Nothing. What have you been doing? Nothing. It's more about, I've known you. I trust you. You were pleasant. You were nice. Let's work together. And that is what business is all about. So we need to dig deep and check our to be nice and pleasant. I'm not saying be phony, but we need to strive just to be good human beings because it takes you places. I am telling you the opportunities I've had just because I haven't had to knock on doors, just because I've known you, just because you've been nice, and it really will take you a long place. And you know what? There's no harm. It doesn't take much to be a nice person. Just some manners, just being nice, just being genuine, just being a good person, just being a decent human being. So we really, really have to work on that. It's super beneficial.
Amazing. Yes. Hillary, funny enough, I don't know if I'm going to take you back. Okay. So do you remember this photo?
Oh, I do.
So you know what? I was just going through your page. I mean, I go through your page and then I get my motivations and you know, Madam Ukabro Fududu.
Oh.
You know, and Hillary, yes, you are definitely an inspiration to me. I've learned so much from you.
Oh, you're
I
phenomenal.
have, and I'm going to continue doing that. Hillary, I remember on the 21st October 2016, you were on the morning ride with me as a guest, a special guest indeed. And our topic for discussion was women in leadership, women empowerment, entrepreneurial pursuits, and that makes us tick. Hillary, it's amazing that this morning we're having the same conversation again related to this area. It tells that there are women in the world, in this world, as much as there's a pandemic, as much as there's a lot going on, things are really turning people's world upside down. There's still women out here and out there that are really, really keen on making sure that we rise and we lift each other and we get into the leadership, you know, positions and high ranks and make decisions that will benefit other women and the world as well. How can we build each other from our day-to-day activities, Hillary? I think that it starts from somewhere. A lot of women judge themselves too much and they deprive themselves of making the mistakes and then correcting them. How can we do this?
So you know what, we can do it in it's not even complicated. It's not even about going to sit on a webinar or a platform or teach it. It's your everyday. Listen, I have people who might apply for position, and usually I ask for a write-in sample because I keep getting headaches when I read them. So it might not be stellar, but it's even helping someone. It's even in the delivery of your feedback. I pick up the phone. I'm like, hey, if you have a minute, can you talk? I saw what you turned in. It's not exactly what I was looking for. Maybe you can tweak it next time for something different. Have you thought about this course? What did you study? And then I try to dig into their background, find out maybe along the road she might have missed something. It's even in your delivery because you know words are powerful. That is helping someone because guess what? She may not have qualified to intern here, but she's going to go somewhere else. So give her the tools, equip her with what she needs to enhance herself instead of just saying no. I know that maybe bigger organizations can, but I'm privileged enough. It's a privilege, you know, it may not be a big company enough to be in the position, it might be a small company to be where I am, to be able to give constructive feedback. How do you help other people? People come with their background. I'm not a fashion designer or fashion expert. I just have an appreciation for nice things. So some of these designers come with their sketches, and the question I ask is, okay, I love it. How does it translate into sales for you? Positive feedback like that and encouragement is how we help other people. Yes, you can do the big things, go donate stuff and all of that, but you know, true impact is what we do, is the little things, helping people out. I have a woman, one of the things that I love to eat a lot is roasted plantain and peanuts. And I have my vendor, my favorite vendor in Accra. Actually, she's fantastic. Everybody needs to check her out. She's right by the Made in Ghana store in Laboni, right in front of Zenith. She's fantastic, very neat and clean. I've known her for years when I was traveling back and forth, and I'm always like, so how are we taking this business to the next level? Are we going to stay in this, you know, little thing that you have, this cold furnace that you have forever? Before I knew it, she had a wooden thing. Every time I'm around there, if I buy nuts from Judy Foods or whatever, I'll stop in and check in. It's the little things. It's not, yes. And women and even the young people. I love children. I have lots of nieces, nephews, lots of nieces, godchildren, nephews, and all of that. And I reach out and I check in with them. And I check in with these 5-year-olds and I have hard conversations. Are you thinking about life? 7-year-olds, what are you doing? You can do it. So it's the little things. It's the little things. And you'll be amazed, even older people that we actually think are super successful also need to be encouraged. So when you see something great about a woman, you compliment her. You compliment her. If you're looking amazing, you look amazing. Oh, I like what you did. I saw what you did. It was phenomenal. I saw you speaking. It was great. Man, this initiative is fantastic. That is support. If you are in a position where you hear about a role and you know that it's not for you, but another sister somewhere can benefit, you send the link to them. That is support. It doesn't always have to be about the photo op. It doesn't always have to be on camera. That is true support. When you know that, I've been able to send this tender to this sister of mine who can win it and win it because, guess what? Your time will come. Your time will come. And the thing is that some people say do good things because it'll come back to you. No, just go do things, period. Just be good, period. That's all you need to do. Just be a kind person and all will fall in place for you. And because it's part of our mandate as Christians, it's part of our mandate just to be good. So if you find an opportunity and your sister will benefit and it doesn't, but you send it to them. I'm happy when I hear things because it lets me know that yes, great things can happen. When I hear that people are doing phenomenal things, I get excited because I know that great things can happen and it is our time. So support. When you see something beautiful, like it. It won't take away from you. It doesn't take away from you. But there's excellence all around us, and we all have to pursue excellence and help each other get to the next level. Let's get away with this thing where we're cliques and we only help our people who are maybe friends with us, who are our followers. Let's be bold enough to help people who are always trying. And sometimes I've realized in life that some people only like to help when someone is beneath them. If they see that someone is rising and there's an opportunity they want to share. But I think it's even more impactful when you help someone get to that next level. So let's not be intimidated. Because we have something that's innate. We are unique. We're on a different path. We have something that is special. Our path and our calling is different. And guess what? Having many lighted candles doesn't take away from your light or your candle. It will be a beautiful world. In fact, if all the candles are lighted, can you imagine the kind of world we would live in if everything that is deposited in us is realized and is experienced in this world? Can you imagine the kind of life will be? I don't know about you, but I want my girls to succeed because, you know, that's the kind of life that I want to live. I can't even tell you. But how it will be no fun if you do it alone. I want my girls to succeed so we can do it together. Can you imagine just saying, calling you, hey, Jifa, are you bored? Do you want to go to Maldives for the weekend? What fun will it be if you can't afford it and I have to pay for you? No, I want you to pay for it. So I'm going to get you a project so you can be in the position so we can go together. What fun is it if you're making all this money and you're shopping and you're hiding it from friends? You want to be able to do it with Jifa. I was like, hey, Jifa, you know what? I want something. I got, you know, let's go shopping. You know, let's go indulge. Let's do this together. You know what? There's this project in this village, and you know what? They need like what, $50 million. How about I bring 25 and you bring 25? Because guess what? I know you have it. And how do I know you've had it? Because yes, you've done your part, but I've also helped you. So we've got to help each other out. We've got to. There is so much negativity and toxicity. It's too vile. I mean, life is really not that serious. And if COVID has taught us anything, it could be over in seconds. Let's just be good human beings.
Hillary, look at this. So can you imagine that your private jet or my private jet? And then we invite, you know, the amazing, spectacular plantain, you know, roaster seller.
No, by the way,
over
she got married.
and
Listen,
sell
I'm
the
so excited.
plantain, roasted plantain on our private jet. Isn't that nice? Why can't
Listen,
we?
my lady got married, and all of a sudden, she got her nails done, her ring on. I remember, and when she was getting married, she's such a mess. She saw me and she flagged. She's like, listen, I'm getting married. I'm going away for a week. So figure out your lunch. I was like,
Oh, wow.
I will. But no, honestly, there's so much
People
we can do.
deserve that happiness. Everybody deserves it.
know
Especially what it is that makes
absolutely.
them happy.
Absolutely, 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 absolutely.
Okay, so Hillary, it's funny. You said so much, and my next question is getting lost, but I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. So Hillary, okay, so during the press conference as well, Dr. Ngozi also made it clear that the position is exciting, but it's also daunting. So that is natural to actually feel that way as a human being, and for a woman. The first time a Black woman in a position like that. I mean, Hillary, it is normal that you have butterflies. You'll be thinking in your stomach, you'll be thinking, am I going to get it right? Will I get the support I need? And so on and so forth. But she said, look, her key interest or her main focus is to make sure she brings everybody together, which you made mention. I mean, we've been talking about bringing people together, getting everybody on the table so we can all benefit. But it is normal to feel that way as a woman, right? You know, when you start something or when you get into a new position. Isn't that normal? And how should you carry on?
And especially as a woman of color, because, you know, the scrutiny is greater for her. The scrutiny is greater for her. So we've got to keep her in prayer for her to excel. But as women, you know, you always, like I said, always bring it back inside. Know that you have everything you need to excel, and you were made for this moment for a reason. You are the person for this moment. You know, sometimes I get called and I have a seat at a certain table and I'm like, wow, God, really? Me? In a room filled with all these amazing people, me? And you know, honestly, it humbles me so much that it gets me to pray and pray, because I said, God, grant me the spirit of excellence to deliver. Because if I look in the physical and I look at my resume and experience, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I know that people call that the imposter syndrome, because women go through that a lot. Yeah. But you know what? You get nervous, you have the butterflies, you shake, but you work to deliver and you prove everyone that you can do the job. And you know, sometimes we second guess ourselves. We don't even see what people see. Because the fact that someone has called you knows that they see something you don't, but you're doubting. So as women, it's natural to feel that way, but you know that you have everything within you to excel. What's the worst that can happen? You can make a mistake, and then what? You correct it, and then you move on, and then you get better. And then you have that experience, and guess what? In your next role, you will do better. So I think it's natural to feel that way, but know that you have everything You were made for that moment. You were made for that moment, everything. And what I like to say all the time is that, you know, I look back at life and experiences, good and not so good. And I look back at this very moment and I say, thank you, Lord, for even the terrible moments, because had it not been for this moment, I would not.
I would.
And the beauty of it is that for life is that the dots always connect. The dots always connect for the very moment.
The dots always connect. Guys, I'm so proud for my mistakes. I have no regrets. I'm just going to learn from them and do the right thing next time. It's as simple as that. I'm sick and tired. I'm sure you are sick and tired of beating yourself, you know, on things that you did not deliberately decide to do to hurt yourself or to get it wrong. It happens. Right. These things happen. Let's read some messages from our amazing audience who's tuning. Tumi is saying, hey Tumi, Hillary, I'm introducing you to Tumi right now. Tumi,
hi,
Tumi. This is your big sister Hillary. You guys are gonna make magic happen. I believe that. So Tumi is saying Hillary dropping golden nuggets, of course, always. That's Hillary for you. We have Watima. My greatest fulfillment is when I see fellow women excel. Indeed, my dear, it is a great feeling. It's I mean it is more than that, because you will be at peace. You will know that when you see your fellow woman, you're not going to sit there and be talking about when you you know, this time around it is, hey, what can I get you? I've got a gift for you. I'm driving to your house. I got you this gift, and this is what we're doing next. Let's go and impact this community. These are the things that happens when other women excel. Guys, great discussion this morning. Thank you so much, Watima, once again. Willie Priest says, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Watima, once again, the sky is big enough for all. Yes, absolutely. Willie is also saying, I can feel the fire and energy. Really, fire, no energy. It's me, we have mistakes, but it's going so well here.
We keep at it.
Right. Halima, my dear Hillary, this is another young lady who's from the north, moved from the north to Accra, and really pushing for herself. Had a brother who was supporting her education but died, and she's here really pushing hard for herself. She works in a salon, and then she also, can you imagine, she sells my disinfectant wipes, the DG disinfectant wipes. I just gave her some more stock yesterday.
So good for you, Halima.
Amazing. So Halima, yes, you have a big sister, Hillary. Check her out on Instagram. Say hi to her if you need any advice. She will definitely help you with that. Watima, hey, Ubibi Wedi, I know yashi. Watima says, more of these ladies. Oh, thank you so much. We're grateful. And all these amazing comments. Guys, we want to say thank you so much. Hillary, I don't want to go. It's Wednesday. I'm sure people are getting ready, but let's dive a bit more into our young girls, Hillary. Look, we're going to continue having this conversation until I grow old, you know. Yes, because look, I mean, this has been part of, life, okay, from the beginning, that the human beings can be disobedient to the extent that God also decided to give us rules, terms and conditions. I mean, ways. That's how the 10 Commandments came up, you know, and so on and so forth. I mean, governance, people are making policy, government make policies for people to obey, right? But we still see things go wrong. Hillary, our youth of today has always been my concern, and will continue to be, because I have been in that position before. Our young girls are in a rush to grow and get to a point where, I mean, they would even recognize themselves anymore. But we want to be able to get to a point where we can recognize ourselves and recognize our progress, right? Our journey. What advice have you got for these girls who are really, really running to a sphere that they're supposed to just slow down and enjoy?
I'll say, you know what? Enjoy your youth. Number 2, social media is not real life. Do not hashtag goals because you don't know the story, you don't know the journey, you don't know how they achieved it. Work for it. There's no greater feeling, no better feeling, no better joy than working for it and achieving it yourself and say, I paid for that. course, we all like nice things. We all want luxury. We all want the good life. But work as well. There's a quote that says, yes, you are beautiful, but you cannot eat your beauty. It runs out. It expires. There's a book that says, the beautiful ones are not yet born, honey. You might feel like I'm 21, I'm 25, I'm the hottest thing. But guess what? Another person comes along. Another person will begin to trend. So you can't tie your life, you can't hinge it on the superficial. Get a bit of substance, a bit of quality. You're brilliant, you're smart, you're gorgeous. Use everything you've got. Study and show yourself approved. You're in school, you're learning. Focus, focus, focus. There's always going to be something else. Don't be consumed by things that don't matter. Don't be consumed by things that are superficial because you never know. Don't be consumed by things that are on the surface, by what you see. Don't be swayed. I always tell people this. It's like all you have as a human being, honestly, is your value, your principle, and your self-worth. Don't give it up for the superficial. You know, as a woman who's a leader in a business, you get, and I'm going to get real here, you go pitch. So when you're going to pitch as a woman or a business owner, you meet all kinds of men. You meet women and you meet men. You get in certain environments, and I'm not just going to call out Ghana. A lot of these men, you put in a bid or a proposal, you get a call. You get a call 10 p.m., you don't answer in the morning. Oh, I was calling to find out if you wanted to have dinner. And immediately you know exactly what that's about. It's almost like, and you know, do you want to, basically they're giving you an option. If you want that bid to go through, you may want to give up something. And I know it's not easy for everyone where we come in from different backgrounds and, you know, life might be tough, but hold on to your virtue and to your value. It's sacred, it's what you value. And the thing is that the world is actually really small, not just the country. Listen, there are men I met, different meetings, different conferences all over the world. Come to find out years later, they all know each other. So can you imagine if you had compromised? I'm not saying that we're perfect. No, we've made mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Yes,
But I'm saying
definitely.
that be intentional about holding on to your principles and virtues. It's not easy. Do you know the kind of things that I get offered? My car is old. Do you know the kind of things you get offered? Let me buy you a car. Let me take you on a trip. I'll buy you first class ticket. You know, let
A
me take you.
house. Yeah.
Let me buy you a house. Yeah. You don't think that I want that? You don't think we want nice things too? Yes, we do. You don't think I have a wish list? I have a typed wish list on iPhone. You don't think I would like that as well? You don't think that I want the baby girl life too? But it's like, at what expense? What is the cost to you? What is the cost physically, not just to your body, but to your soul? So my dear, beautiful young sisters, just work, just do your part, network, leverage, leverage your network, pray. I tell you, it works. You do your part. I mean, of course, people will say no, but not keep knocking on doors. You'll be amazed. And this life is actually even smaller now. You have LinkedIn, you have Instagram, you have Facebook. You know, if I sometimes, let's say I want to work on a project and I think, okay, who is that after Africa Free Trade, whatever it is, I need a contact there. I don't have anyone directly. You know, it's a wild shot, but what do? I write a note. Hi, my name is Hillary. I run a PR firm. Here's my website. Here's the list of my recent engagements. I look at your company and I see that this is what I can do for you. Is there anyone you can connect to?
Wow.
Guess what? It doesn't always work, but it works sometimes. But
It
I also
does.
believe
Yeah.
the no's were not for you anyway. It wasn't part of your story anyway. So you know what? Yes, it's good to appreciate nice things and to see the loops and to get tickled and the Birkin. I am dying for a Birkin, honey. But you know, as a small business owner, when you make money, you're like, honey, that is payroll. I am not spending my money on this. You think we don't want the nice things? You think we don't? We check it out and we're like,
We
yes,
do. We do.
but it's at what expense to your soul?
Yeah.
What expense? So my darling sisters, it will work out. Guess what? You're gonna have that beautiful bag. You're gonna have that Chanel bag. I remember, I was like, listen, I worked at a law firm where you would work hours. You get to work, let's say 6, 7 a.m. You have a case. When everyone wins, when we win, the entire team would get a bonus. And I'm like, darling, the money you're seeing here is not my seed money. It's not my seed money. It's money for the bonus that I decided to treat myself. So don't see this bag and get all kinds of ideas. Relax. Your time will come. Your time will come. and know that everybody's different. You're going to have friends who are from wealthy backgrounds who can afford it.
Yeah.
Friends who decide to choose things, who decide to choose a different path. That is their business. You don't judge, but focus on yourself. Do what you have to do for yourself, and do what you have to do so that you can live with yourself. Sisters, we have so much power. We have enormous power. We're so gifted. We're so talented. Let's not sell ourselves short. We are queen. Adjust your crown. Adjust it accordingly.
I am doing that right now. Guys, so, I mean, we're not going to wrap up now. Please stay for another 15 minutes. Stay for another 15 minutes.
No problem.
Thank you. Cool. So, guys, I just want to tell you a bit more. Go on Hilary Sarah's page on Instagram, right, after this morning booster, and check her website out. You would love it. So I'm going to take you through, and then I'm trying to tease you a bit, get your interest, ready for you to go find out more. So check www.hsapr.com. Okay, guys, check that app. And I just love what's here. It says, welcome to HSAPR, capturing the essence of brands and personalities. I just love that. I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this would definitely want me to get you to render your services to me. And what they do is communication strategy and campaigns, corporate communication, crisis and reputation management, event, government relations, political strategy, image shaping, media relations, public affairs, stockholder engagement, voice over services. Yeah, guys. Yes, and her voice. Oh, please don't go there. I'm sure she's not the only one in the company, but Hilary's voice is one of the best. And so these are some of the services that they provide, and they do it with class, exquisitely. I mean, they do it so well. And she's a professional. I remember the first day I met Hilary, it was just, I was like, you know what, in life, like she said, look, you would meet the right people. The dots will make sense. It would make sense at the end of the day. You want it so much, you're putting in the hard work. God is going to bring people closer to you, draw them to you. They will come to you.
Absolutely.
And
at some point, you can afford the lubes. Don't worry, it will come.
Hilary, let me share this with them. This is how much Hilary is so concerned about me and my son. This is how much she cares about. This is how much of a woman power builder she is. So, Dylan wants to play football. I tell Hilary is going to get whoever the coach, introduce me to all kinds of coaches in the world, right? From London, America. And guys, isn't this nice? Why mustn't we encourage our fellow women? Won't this make life easy for me to feel good and focus? So can we please imitate that? If we don't know how to do it, if there's a way that we feel, there's an easiness when it comes to, sometimes when people are doing well, it's a natural thing. People feel jealous, but it depends on the extreme you want to, how extreme you want to take that. You can block it immediately. It is normal that you see something beautiful and you have this, tendency to feel, oh, really, I deserve it better. It is normal, okay? It happens. But can you try and say in a better way? That, oh, this is nice. I'm going to have it too at the right time. But let that person know that, look, you deserve it. And yes, you all deserve it, but there's time for everything. Hilary, we've talked about our young girls, right? Now, let's talk about Yen Penny Forno. Sometimes
y'all be doing the most. You need to stop it. We have to get real. Really? You only put up pictures when you go to Santoku? You're only just 24/7 in Santoku, boo? Really? Because you're shaping a certain narrative. You have to realize that our actions and what we put out there, we're influencing younger people. What are we telling them? We need to do better. And I don't know about you, but I think it's exhausting to just live a life that is not real. I honestly think so. Just be yourself. Life is not all rosy. You have a business, sometimes you barely make payroll. You have a business. Yes, you may have a fancy company doing all kinds of things. Sometimes you don't pay yourself for months. Come on. Yeah. Really? Yeah. Really? And then you put so much pressure on yourself. You've got to get your nails done at a certain place. So before this branded places came, the 70 cedi lady who was offering you manicure and pedi 100 cedi is not better because you've got to be seen at the place where
Oh,
they're
that's
charging 300. Why? Well, what is this? And you know, the scary part that I worry about for Ghana and the continent is that this lifestyle is not sustainable. We need to do better. You're flossing really so that you come home with your stress. You know, I don't want to stress because boo, I'm not trying to get wrinkles. Let
no,
me keep it
no,
100. You
no,
know, let me keep it 100. I'm not
no.
trying to get wrinkles. I want to keep baby girl going on
Yeah,
for life. But
indeed.
honestly, we've got to focus on what matters. And the scary thing is that I feel like we've come to a generation where people are so fixated on having money and material things that they don't care how you got it. So the same people who might be calling people thieves will call someone bossu because he has money, and they'll say, oh, we don't care if he stole it, we don't care how he got it. We need to work on our principles and our values. There is a moral decay, and we need to fix that. We are not perfect, but we need to fix that. We need to fix that. I don't know what the average salary is, but I don't think a lot of people, we see a lot of people on social media, and I know a lot of people are not making 15,000 cedis, 20,000 cedis a month. But the life that they project, I'm like, really? What's going on? And you know, when you put yourself in a situation where you're always flossing, you find it's almost like you have no choice but to keep up. So you end up compromising just to have this, to keep up appearances. That's a lot. And you know, I also feel, for me, I'm a big fan of education, and for me, the education part of it's a component where we have to rethink our curricula and how we are churning out people to make sure we're fit for purpose. Education that includes ethics, values, integrity, doing the right thing when nobody's watching, because or else we're not going to move forward. And everyone is part of this. It's not just our leaders, it's not just our ministers, it's not just, you know, a head of the state institution, it's everyone. I remember going to visit Registrar General, and I registered for something, and I paid for the expedited service. And I was leaving, and the guy goes, oh, madam, you know that if you want express, it's up to you. I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? I paid for expedited. Oh, madam. So it was supposed to be in 10 days. In 8 days, they called me, oh, we're not sure. Was that spelling an S? So they were trying to frustrate me so that I'll pay a bribe. Yes, for a lot of people, they say, oh, it's easier, you pay a bribe, get it done. I'm like, and I said, you know, let me tell you, I live for things like this. I will come to your office and keep correcting that form until you do it. You are not getting a penny from me. It's not because I am cheap. No, in fact, I need some money management skills because I don't spend well. But it's the principle, is the principle. And we know we need to do better because, you know, we talk about the older generation and our parents and grandparents and how they ruined our nations. But are we any better? We need to do a bit of introspection. Are we better? In fact, I worry because we are a generation, it's a microwave generation. We want the designer house, the designer life, designer school, designer car, designer clothes, designer life now. And that is a problem. That's scary. So we need to check ourselves. We need to. And then we have people, it's almost like when you critique the right things, you're saying what? You're a hater. Everyone is a hater. So people get away with doing the wrong things. So if you're doing the wrong things, you pay your way through, you get a group of people around you, and they just attack people, social media bandits, attack people on social media because someone called out someone for doing the wrong things. But if we don't correct these ills, we are in trouble. I worry for Ghana. I pray for Ghana. I pray for the continent because listen, we have most youthful population. We have the brilliant minds. So much good that the world enjoys is from our continent. So why can't we be on top? So we need to change all of it. So our people, our peers, please just reel it in. Take a step. Relax. It'll be okay. Relax. It's not that deep. It's okay. Relax. Anyway, I'll get off.
Hillary, I love you. Hillary, before we wrap up, I know how education is key, right? And for
Right.
most of us, someone like me, I always use myself as an example that yes, circumstances happens, right?
Right.
Things happens, and but when you find yourself in a position where you can give yourself all that you've deprived yourself of, nobody did. I mean, life happens. But when
Right.
you're in a position to give it back to you and in full, you do it. Don't
Yeah.
hesitate.
Right.
A lot of women and even men who haven't really who didn't further the education, right, find it very daunting, find it very, because of the stigma and also the time. Yeah, stigma is one. The time is one. Whether they're going to be able to really grasp what's being taught in class is one. Many other things, right? Maybe they feel they are comfortable in what they're doing now and with where they are right now, and know that is important. It would help them if they are able to get back to school and excel more and gain more knowledge, you know, so they can excel. I'm back in school, and it
Good
is
for you.
difficult, Gipa. It is so difficult.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy, honey.
You know, where is this other thing? So my class, right? I mean, currently it's virtual class. And sometimes when class is ongoing and then we don't understand, everybody's like, hey, we this idea, does this and this. I mean, it's crazy, Hillary. I know. It's fun but scary. You know, you
Right.
have this fear that am I gonna do well or not? But Hillary, there's a bunch of us, there's a bunch of people out there who are skeptical about going back to school. I mean, you know the value of education, Hillary. You know how far it has brought you. I know how far the little I had took me, and what I'm gonna gain is gonna take me.
Right.
What do you have? What advice do you have?
You know what? We have to realize that we are lifelong students. It never ends. And whether it's structured education, whether it's structured education, university or a course, or whether it's a certification or it's
A
just reading
skill
a
that you're
bit
trying to
more
enhance, yeah.
or vocational training, it is education. And education sometimes is from who you associate with. You try to be around people who are smarter than you so you could learn as well. Education is picking up a book to read. That's when you learn new vocabulary and you learn a new way of thinking and you learn to think critically and you learn to think logically and analytically. That's education. And thankfully, in the current world that we're in, where it's become a virtual world, you have places like Coursera, they're free courses. Who cares if you fail? Even if you don't have the pass mark, you've learned something. And I always say
Yeah.
that education is what you learn beyond your grades and outside of the classroom. You've learned processes, you've learned systems, you've learned strategy, you've learned technique. So I think we shouldn't hesitate. We are lifelong students, lifelong students. Yes,
Yeah.
I have some big dreams, schools that I would like to go to. So that's why I need to make money. But don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. Keep at it. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. And it's
Yeah.
okay. What is failure, really? It's a learning experience. So keep going.
So we're very excited about for Dr. Ngozi. We believe that she will definitely do well, you know, with a new position with the World Trade Organization. I'm so excited for her. I cannot wait to learn so much from her position. But guys, if you want to know more about her, the videos of her TED Talks and other conversations that happened or took place on other great platforms, you should listen to her. Hillary, you've been on TED, haven't you?
No, I haven't been on TED yet.
You
No,
haven't.
I
Oh, I
have
can't
not.
wait for you to get on. You should get on. You should
At
be
the
on
right
TED.
time. At the
You should
right
be on
time.
TEDx. You should.
At the right time. But let's keep her in prayer as well. Let's send some positive energy her way because in as much as we may be hailing her, a lot of people are also waiting for her to fail. But she will not fail. She will shine. She will excel. So we send prayers her way. We send positive energy her way. She already has the book knowledge. She has the world knowledge, the street knowledge. She has everything within her to excel. She has proven it over and over again. It may not be a walk in the park, but she will shine.
So will you, Hillary. You will indeed
Amen.
shine.
So
And
will you,
so
my
will
dear.
thank you. So will everybody who's tuning in and those of you watching
Absolutely.
this here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, guys. You know what? In the beginning, it's always difficult, but guys, you know, look at us. Look at us right now. This has been a
We're
very
gonna make it. It's
profound
gonna happen.
conversation.
It's gonna happen.
Indeed. profound
It's gonna
conversation
happen.
with Hillary Sarah.
One
Check
day
her
when
out,
I when
guys.
I when I'm,
Hillary, thank you so much for
when
this.
I'm flying high up
Um,
you and say, see, we worked and we were doing it now. It will happen. It will. Just keep at
Thanks
it.
for your support. I really appreciate it all the time. Even the days I don't get to tell you, I do appreciate
Thank you
everything.
too. Thank
Thanks.
you
Thanks.
too.
Hillary,
You
talk
too.
to you soon, right?
Sounds good. Have a good
Excellent.
day,
You too, darling.
everyone.
Please don't go. We're
Thank
going to
you
have
for
Tumi
joining.
come on and say one or two. Tumi, are you available? Let's see if we can have you. Okay, Hillary. Bye for now. Mwah.
Bye.
Okay, so guys, that was Hillary Sarah, an amazing PR and communication person. Hillary just got so much to offer this world, and I just admire her every day in all her endeavors, all the time. She's always got something remarkable happening. That's Hillary for you. Let's see if we can get Tumi on. Let's take her take on this amazing news that's happened to Africa and women around the globe. Let's see if she's gonna come on. If not, we're gonna leave before 8. So it's 7:54 now. That is if Tumi is available to join us. Tumi, are you ready? Surprise! Okay. But if she's not, guys, we've learned so much today. We've had a very profound conversation. I have learned so much. I'm geared up to do more. Okay, guys, and it takes baby steps. Okay, and don't beat yourself when you make mistakes, guys. When you feel it's normal. It's part of nature. It's part of life that you feel, and the most important thing is for you to learn from your failure, right? So, guys, I want to say a very big thank you for all of you joining me this morning, and I wish you an amazing, productive day, and stay blessed and always love. Okay, always do that, but always also